G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Australian Property Investment Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Christie David. You may know that I run a mortgage broking business called Atelier Wealth. With our podcast, we like to bring in people that know exactly what they're talking about, and I refer them as best in breed. And I'm going to be very biased because what we're doing at the moment is we're doing a behind the scenes on our team. So yeah, best in breed is what I'm going to call them. Trinity Maat will join us for a chat. That has a nice little ring to it. G'day, Trin. How you doing?
Hey, Aaron. I'm well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks. Just before we kick off, I want to reiterate that this is a chat that's general in nature and not intended to give advice. So if you do need advice, please do seek out a professional. We are professionals, but the show doesn't give advice. Go figure. But anyway, Trin, how you doing?
I'm really good. Yeah. Thanks for having me back.
Not at all. Repeat offender.
Yeah.
You must have done something right because you know what? People have reached out and said, hey, we love Trin's episode.
Oh, awesome.
I think you were pretty candid and open and honest about your journey, and we want to kind of go there a little bit today. Take people on, I guess, where you've been and how you got to this point and what's next for you on terms of the Trinity Maat story as well. I know a few things have changed. So we said we caught up in July. Actually, do you remember it? Because it was freezing. I had a jumper on that day. Yeah, I remember it clearly. And times have changed. We're now going to summer, Christmas break. So take me through, when you reflect on the year, because you've been with us for just over a year now. So when you reflect on your time and coming into, because it was cutting your teeth in mortgage broking, right? So maybe what we do is we go back a step and say, take us through your career to date before joining Atelier Wealth.
Sure. So career to date, I left high school. I got a job with a law firm in Wollongong doing a Cert 3 in business. Yeah. Because that's what I wanted to do from the get-go. I wanted to be in business. Yeah. So I did my Cert 3 in business with my law firm in Wollongong, and then I moved on to a conveyancing firm. So after I think it was 4 years at the law firm, did everything from reception to wills and estates. Property law was where I landed. And then I was very fortunate. I got poached by a conveyancing firm in Wollongong as well. Yeah. Moved over there as a conveyancing assistant. So it was purely conveyancing, which was good for me because at that point in time, that's what I thought I wanted to do. Yeah. So I did my associate degree in law, major in conveyancing. Yeah. I got to the end of my associate degree, so October last year. Yeah. And I got cold feet. Yeah. I panicked a little bit. I was like, I have to pull my big girl pants up and be a conveyancer. Yeah. And I panicked and I was like, I don't know if this is what I wanted to do. So I got on to Seek. I saw 2 job listings for a client services role or like an entry-level role in mortgage broking because I thought I'd give that a go, same side of a different coin. Yeah. The other job listing that I applied for, I didn't even get a call back. I was very fortunate. I got a call back from Atelier Wealth and went through the process and now I'm here. Nice one. Yeah.
So what was it, the opportunity, not even about us, right, but just more for yourself in that crossroads in your career where you go, I've studied it, I'm not sure this is right for me. I've worked in the industry, so you've seen firsthand. What was that turning point, do you think?
I really don't know. I think it was, I suppose, imposter syndrome. I was very much of the view that I'm only a young person. How could I be giving legal advice to people? Looking back now, I feel like I was very capable and I could have absolutely done that. But I also felt like it just wasn't where my heart was. Yeah, okay. I loved both of my jobs, the people I worked with. It was just, I loved helping people as well, helping people buy their homes and guiding them. It just wasn't where my heart was.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I wanted to try something new as well. I feel like I kind of fell into that industry and mortgage broking was something that I wanted to do, whereas law and conveyancing was something that I fell into. Yeah. I think that was a big impact as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So coming into, and you probably had the fortune of working with a lot of brokers, so you probably knew a little bit about broking, mortgage broking, and the proposition prior to joining. A year and a bit later, what do you feel you've learnt that you know not to be true about mortgage broking?
I've always been an advocate for mortgage brokers from day one because I know that they're way better than the banks. Okay. The banks are
Okay. Having said that, our industry's not perfect either. So
no, that's right. I've dealt with a lot of bad mortgage brokers as well.
Days.
Yes, definitely. So I think that was another thing that I really connected with Atelier Wealth was the fact that you guys hold yourself to such a high standard, whereas I just didn't see that with a lot of other brokers. Right. having gone through a mortgage broker myself to purchase my property, I know that he was obviously a good broker.
Yeah.
And I really...
Which is what we want for everyone, right? Being good hands and
that's right.
Great support.
He was a good broker and I really resonated with them.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, I just, obviously there was no opportunity there for me.
Right.
Not that I reached out, but just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I remember when I started at Atelier and spoke with Bernie about getting a cash out loan, I emailed my existing broker and I basically broke up with him.
I don't remember that actually. We were like, how do we say this nicely? Because we didn't want to be responsible. If you've got a great relationship, totally. One of our other team members has a great relationship with their broker. I'm like, don't feel the need to bring it here. If you've got a great relationship, keep it there, for example. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. But I emailed him and I was like, I just want to let you know the only reason is because I moved on to another firm, and he was like, best of luck. I wish you the best of luck. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a year in, what's some of the things that when you look under the hood in broking that you go, this has maybe caught me off guard or I didn't know this about mortgage broking?
They're in everything. Literally everything. I really thought that I knew a lot.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I don't. I knew a very, very tiny piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
There's so much I'm learning. Every day I'm learning. There's so many factors, so many different variables, but that's what I love about it. I think conveyancing was very mundane, to the point. There wasn't a lot of variables, whereas mortgage broking is such a wide variety of variables and different options, and which I think is really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost what you want in conveyancing, right? You want standard.
That's right.
You want a contract is a contract.
That's right.
You're reviewing and you should be giving this almost similar-ish advice. Know your rights, know what's in the contract of sale, do your due diligence, away you go, and then decisions made by the purchasers and by the client. Whereas, you take broking, for example. I mean, that's what the name Atelier is. It's customized, it's studio, it's bespoke, because every single loan, doesn't matter. We're trying to remember we did that for that person, but that was different. Remember we did something similar for them? Yeah, same, but different.
Totally.
Because every single client, every single scenario is same, but different.
That's right. That's what I really like about it too, is I really like that if a client comes to us, we never say no. It's maybe not yet, or let's not do it this way, let's do it another way, but it's never a hard no, we can't help you. That's what I really like.
Yeah, knows an attitude, right?
Totally.
Cool. As you reflect back on 2023, what is some of the highlight? I mean, and
big year.
This is probably a chance, some extra jewelry that you're carrying around.
Yeah. So back in July, I introduced myself as living at home with my partner Aiden and our cat Toast. It's now my fiance Aiden and our cats Toast and Felix. So I feel like I have to put that one in there because everyone says to me, "Oh, me and my cat Toast." I do go up a little bit of flack for that, but yeah,
exciting.
Yeah. So we got engaged in October.
Yeah.
So a bit over a month ago, which was really, really exciting. And now we're planning a wedding, and it's great.
Heading to the next phase of your life.
Yeah.
Has it changed the way you've got an outlook on life?
I feel like it has. And all my friends that are engaged that say it's no different, it feels the same. Me, I'm like, this is amazing. This is such a great time to be in.
Yeah.
Living at home with my best friend and
planning.
Just living life. We're 24. We've got a bit of responsibility, but not really. It's really good.
That's it. You do enjoy life. Every time I speak to you, we got this on the weekend. We're traveling here. I'm like,
so busy.
That's an active social life that you have.
Man, particularly going into December.
Yeah,
I don't think I have a free second, but that's okay.
It is. It's a blessing to have a good social life, good friend network, and good community around you. I think that's a real blessing.
Definitely.
Cool. Your progression over the year, client services, we're now transitioning. You're doing your diploma or wrap that up, moving into the parabroking role. What's some of the things that are surprising you about this next phase of growth that you're in? Yeah,
definitely. So I'm very quickly learning that parabroking is not straightforward cookie cutter deals.
Yeah. And if you're listening going, what does a parabroker do?
Yeah. So as a parabroker, I help structure the deals for the broker, but I'm also doing a lot of sitting in on client meetings and, as you're aware, and helping structure deals. But I'm learning very quickly that It's not straightforward. We've got a process in place, but it's not just here's your borrowing capacity, your options, and go from there. It's here's what you can do here, and here's what you can do with this, and here's what you can do if you close this credit card or, increase your borrowing by getting increasing your salary. It's so many variables, and I like it because it's critical thinking. It makes me think.
Big time. Yeah, critical thinking's absolutely paramount to the success of this role, right? If you're thinking in black and white, you're probably not going to succeed. You'll be fairly standard as a broker, whereas the ability to think literally going, okay, here's the information I've got literally, like the confines of someone's financials, but then the ability to think laterally as well is what really becomes that X factor, particularly in that para-broking or credit analyst role.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when you look at people's questions like, what if I did this? And what if I sold this? Or what if I took the equity out here? And then how does that impact my borrowing capacity here? So you're constantly like 2 or 3 steps ahead going, if this happens, then this. And if this happens, then that, for example, as well.
But also walking that fine line of not overloading people.
Oh,
it's a guidance role for sure. It's good. I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I've been put in my place a little bit because I thought I knew a lot, and then I stepped into this para-broking role and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much, but I'm loving it.
Yeah, nice. I think that's life. You got to be, what do they call it? We're students. We're always learning in life.
Always learning, yeah.
It's a good attitude to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Going into 2024, what's some of the big things that are on your list that you'd like to achieve and put out there as well for yourself?
Becoming a broker. I'm so close with my diploma.
Yeah.
I should have it finished hopefully end of the month. But yes, becoming a broker is my number one goal. And then we actually are planning to go to America next year as well, which is our first overseas trip.
So exciting.
Yeah. So we're very excited about that, but it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We just have to bite the bullet and do it.
Yeah. What have we said about making that decision? Just book the tickets?
Yeah. And it actually made me think the other day about opportunity cost. We're having to borrow a little bit more money so that we can go to this America trip. But I said to Aiden the other day, it's definitely an opportunity cost. And he said to me, he's like, that's a made up word. You just make that up then. I'm like, no. It's real.
It's actually a real economic term.
It is. It is. It's like, if we didn't get LMI, we wouldn't have been able to buy our second home.
Yeah.
That's an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. I like it.
But yeah, we're just making it happen. I'm sick of waiting. Nice. Sick of waiting for the right time, because there's no right time. It's like buying your house. There's no right time to do it. You've just got to do it when you're ready, not when you're financially ready or not when you're, when the market's ready. If we wait for plane tickets to go down, we'll be waiting forever.
Wait for the currency to work in your favour. We'll be waiting for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We'll be married with kids and we'll be in our 70s and we better go to America now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a real kind of mantra that we've got, which is you've got the ability to do it. What are we waiting for?
That's right.
Yeah, and you wait for the ideal time. It's never going to be perfect. A big part of your role has been client services. What that generally means is when a loan's submitted, taking that, guiding a client all the way through to their loan settling and beyond. What are some of the mental blocks that you've seen, or people have these barriers around getting the loan or approval? Because it's one of those roller coasters. It's peak stress levels. So cortisol picks up when, people are waiting and sweaty on the bank. Sometimes we're sweaty on a bank, delivering on an approval, even though we know, hey, look, it's a done deal. It's not our word that counts for it. It's just going to give them the money, and everything can change. So the banks don't get back to us on a Friday, and so Friday afternoon, still no call, and we're all sweating as well. Cooling offs, for example, or someone else trying to make an offer on, it's going under contract. What's some of the things you've picked up? And I'm talking really around human behaviour and I guess the psychology around that time trend.
It's definitely control. I mean, I totally get it personally because I'm a very type A person. To give control to your broker, to give control to your conveyancer, it's very hard for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It really is a human behavior that is hard to give up.
Yeah.
I find I'm actually guiding some of my friends at the moment to buy their first home.
Yeah.
And I had to say to him, I was like, look, I just want to let you know from here on out, basically it'll be me talking to your conveyancer and your agent, and it'll be us 3 parties talking in the background. Pretty much won't come to you. We'll come to you for questions and instructions, but you basically just let us sort it all out. And he was like, but at the end of the day, you guys are the professionals. You do this every day. I don't do this every day. Go for your life. Yeah. So I think that was hard for him, but it is, is what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and out of all people, it picks out, I usually say it picks out friends or family when things are off the rails as well.
Totally.
Again, it's how we handle it and how we step up that usually defines the client experience. But you're right. Like most people, you think about, kind of lay a couple of things in here. With all the technology and all that we have, it still takes a bank, 5 or 6 days sometimes to give a decision. It takes a human calling a bank to go, hey, we need this bumped up the queue to get this reviewed because it's time sensitive, for example.
Yeah.
So there's, for all the bells and whistles that we have around processes, systems, technology, it's still a very human, high touch type of operation, isn't it?
And I think too, it's the understanding that, you know, there is a human behind that application and the knowledge behind what goes into that application. Like, you know, you would see it's not just a tick a couple of boxes and submit a form. It is so much work that goes into the pre-application that then somebody has to review. It does take a couple of weeks' time. You know, you think about it, it's a massive purchase. Sometimes people are borrowing upwards of $500,000. Do you really think the bank's just going to give it to you for free? Like, they need to do everything that they can. I think that's one of the biggest things is knowledge on what actually goes into getting a mortgage.
Yeah, well said. Well said. What's some of the other things that have kind of surprised you about going through the last year in mortgage broking as well?
A thing that I see quite often is people don't have a basic understanding of what a loan is, particularly first home buyers, even people that have owned homes before.
Yeah. I mean, some of our property investors where I'd say they've almost become accidental investors, not professional investors. It's like, oh, I just bought a few properties and the loans are all over the joint. And like
I've had people come to me, they don't know the difference between an offset and a redraw. Yeah. What is an offset account? It's a redraw account.
It's not me laughing. It's just more like, the financial literacy is with all due respect, it can feel quite low sometimes.
Totally. And I think too, it's a lot of, you know, your family and your upbringing. And if you never had those conversations growing up, like if you're an 18-year-old buying your first home on your own. Yeah. And you've never had that conversation, or your parents never had a mortgage, so they never needed to teach you about that, or probably didn't know themselves. Yeah. It makes it very hard. Because that's what I say to a lot of my friends. Before you buy, if you're not ready to buy yet, if you're still in the savings process, then do a little bit of research. Get some understanding behind you about, you know, how much deposit do you need? What's an offset account? What kind of mortgage, a variable or a fixed rate? Yeah. Just the basic things that you need to know before you go and speak with a broker. Yeah. And we're happy to guide you, but it does help to understand before you go into that meeting so that you are more confident when you're making that decision to buy.
Well said. Well said. I think it's sage advice, and I'm glad as a young person, you've kind of got into the market. I mean, we've shared your journey. So if you do want to check out Trin's property journey, we'll include a link to that previous episode as well. But I guess the maturity that you've shown, the number of clients that you've worked across, for example, it's going to put you in good stead for the next phase of growth in your professional life, which is becoming a mortgage broker. And I think you're really going to speak to a certain segment, which is young Australians, particularly females, that go, hey, look, show me a way to get into the market, for example, and you can lead by example, and the dream of home ownership can be attained. It just means that there's something that's got to give in order to get to achieve that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And one of my professional goals for 2024 is actually to launch a first home buyer course so that people can buy, and it's in very early stages.
That's where every project starts. Though.
Yes. But it will be called the Gen Z home buyer course. So it is for first home buyers, absolutely, but it's not just specific to first home buyers. I feel like you can't buy one house and know everything. Everything is a process. I've spoken to people who have bought before, and they would be more than happy to look at my course to buy the next property because there's so many variables, as we spoke about earlier. But that will be launching next year. So that's one of my goals, is even if I can help one person buy their house with my course, I'd be happy. I just want one person.
I'd say it's a very achievable task to say, look, I'm going to help one person. The compound effect of that, though, is you help one person, that's going to then piggyback to then help the next person. So I'm probably challenge you to say think bigger. That's me saying atta girl in terms of like you've got all this knowledge that you're sitting on. Yeah. And that's where I think most people go, eek, like around marketing, for example. It's like, no. I got challenged around that, which was, hey, if you're sitting on all this knowledge, it's almost selfish to not share it.
Absolutely.
And that's where if you kind of reframe it through that lens, you go, oh yeah, if I can help more people and I know this stuff, why wouldn't I give my gift to more people that then can be the beneficiaries of it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a big project.
Yes.
Chipping away at it. I think I said in my first podcast, I don't do things in halves.
Yeah, correct. We're in the right place then, because we bite off more than we can chew, and then we chew like crazy.
Totally. I'm creating a course. I'm doing my diploma. I'm studying to be a broker. I'm planning a wedding, it's
planning a holiday.
Planning a holiday. I feel like if I had one thing going at once, I wouldn't get anything done. I need like 10 things going.
Isn't it? If you want a job done, you give it to a busy person.
Yeah, that's right.
And they'll get it done because they make room. But Trinity, I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate it. I want to say your TikTok game and your Instagram game, it really sets the bar. So if you do want to connect with Trin, we'll include the socials there. Again, this is not about socials for ego. It's not about a course for ego. It's more going, hey, look, we want to pass the knowledge on. We want to share our expertise with more people, not from a commercial benefit. Use the knowledge, take it, find your trusted team and tribe of professionals. But if we can be some conduit on the journey to help you, then that's mission accomplished for us too. So I want to say thank you very much for tuning in. As always, if you found this helpful, please give us some feedback in the way of either review or subscribe, because that then means that we can then know that we're doing a good job and the listeners are kind of signaling that this is hitting a spot as well. So thank you very much for your time, and until next time, take care.